So, only I'm going to tell you is if you are trying to look for the truth, then you're probably going to run into a problem with the Caucasian man. Who is the colored man? You're going to have to go to the gates of the Nation of Islam to figure out the answer to that. But once Moses saved them from the hills and caves sides of Europe, after they caused mischief and mayhem in the holy city, they walked them across the burning sands. Once they walked them across the burning sands, Moses was sent into the hills and cave sides of Europe to civilize them. And once they were civilized, they were sent back in. In them sent back in, they began to they did something. All right, they did something, and in them doing something, they got one page from a book, and they studied that book. They end up ripping it. So they took the best page out, and that caused them to become paganisms. That caused them to become pagans. You see, pagan. So pagan. You see, alpha negative servants. You see, alpha negative servants. So page. So you have one page. So I got this page. You see, it's a decree, and then they say it's because of this that you guys have to follow me now. You see, it's power. So it's a power like operation, or it's a power force that they try to use with paper, because it goes to the soul star chakra. You see, so they knew that. Moses taught them that, and that's why they were given the commandments. So in order for them to purify their souls, the only thing they had to do was follow the commandments. But then they fucking did not want to stop fucking. So they removed that page where it says, thou shalt not fornicate. You see? Because the only thing they did in the hills of K-size years was fuck, eat, sleep, shit, piss, kill, and grunt. You see, they were uncivilized beings, and in them doing so, they even fucking start eating their babies, and then they fucking produced a god called Father Time, where they worship time, but they would kill babies so that they could be learned, so that they could be taught in the spirit realm about how to being able to keep up with time. They lost all knowledge until Moses came and civilized them. At that point, I think that we're not going to go back to what Sirius Star constellation they came from. But what I will do is I'm fucking having a hard time trying to get my damn DD-214. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck they won't give me my damn DD-214. CTI-1 Leonard, it was my superior officer along with Nanjaro, Nangro, and Ledbetter. These were my first superior officers, Division 317. Ledbetter was the one that sent me to SEPS safely because I asked for that. And because I realized that in Division, I think it was 315, who was in Division 316. Division 315, he was a very racist man who was symbolic or who was physically related, if not representative, he was a physical representation of Napoleon Bonaparte. And Napoleon Bonaparte, thank you, Mr. Trey Taylor. Yeah. And then so Napoleon Bonaparte was a man who was he was a war commander, and he blew off the nose of the Sphinx in Egypt. So they produced a form of vandalism against the actual archives that which God has placed before us. It was a time period where human beings produced what we might call a genetic splicing with lions, or what you might call lions, what you might call the big cats. They were very sacred creatures, and they traveled here and we had them protecting us away from the evil ones, or you might call the mischief makers from the hills of sides of Europe, exiled from the holy city. So, at this point, the reason why I told you that is because if you all want to try to produce holiday with these people to gather more Christ-like minds, you see what they're doing? So they lost the books. They lost access to the books. That's why they created Christmas, which means more Christ. See, they wanted more Christ because they realized they shouldn't have fucking killed them. See? So they said, we need Christ back. And, because they realized they had to suffer underneath other white people because they were becoming increasingly evil. You see? So now, what we realized is there is a failure to communicate. You see? So people are dealing with stuff out in the world that deals with the underworldly demons. And they are going into problems with that. They don't understand how to connect with God and the higher source of consciousness within their bodies and their spirits and their minds. So they don't worship God well enough to being able to grow the God consciousness within. And they produce a force against their own consciousness. And at that point, they destroy themselves. So I'm telling you all this because we are in February, is December 26th. All right, December 26th. So these people are very, word that I could probably use. These people are very idiotic. The reason why I say idiotic is because their intelligence is dictated idly over Lucifer. You see? But if you go to idiotic, it says they are intelligently dictating idols over teachers. You see? Over teaching igloo communication. You see? So they had to build things for shelter. That's how cold they are. You go to the ice giants. You see? So what I'm trying to tell you is when you do not follow instructions of God, you get exiled. Then they have in the movie, called Sixth Sense, where it expresses in that movie when they're angry it gets cold. It's talking about demonic spirits. They come from space, and they come from a further place within our solar system, away from the sun. The further you get away from the sun, the colder it gets. So they travel here to produce vengeance upon us because they want to be alive again. They are doomed to a prison where their consciousness is consistently alive. The only way that you can overcome that is you must be taught the righteousness, and you must help lead humanity towards a high level of consciousness to overcome the levels of sin. Because if you all have produced paganism, only thing paganism does is you take one page out of a book and then you use that as a decree. You're not supposed to just take one, you're supposed to take the entire book. If you don't take the entire book, you lose contact with the entire force of God that gave knowledge, the thorough knowledge within the entire book. You're not supposed to just take one fucking book. You're not supposed to take one fucking page.